You're just a regular college grad. Your salary is only a few thousand. Your boyfriend can't take it anymore. Guys, can you believe this? A guy spent 3 whole days and nights preparing a surprise. At the city's fanciest steakhouse, reserved a window seat, 999 red roses on the table, and an expensive diamond ring. He's waiting for his girlfriend, full of hope, thinking about how she'd react to these surprises, imagining her happy smile. For tonight's date, Lin Fan really gave it his all. He worked overtime for a month straight, day and night, never stopping. Saved every penny he could, spent it all on this anniversary. 99 roses were too basic. He gritted his teeth and chose 999 roses and a diamond ring. It wasn't the best out there, but it was the nicest he could afford, within his budget, for this special day. He even requested time off 2 weeks early, planned out every detail with care, just so Su Qianchen would be moved. And know he truly loves her. But what happened? Reality slapped her hard. He hears the click of high heels at the restaurant entrance. Su Qianchen walked in arm with a rich guy in designer suit. Came in together. That rich kid looked fancy and smug, his face full of pride, laughing, holding Su Qianchen by the waist, making sure everyone noticed she was his. They looked just like a loving couple. Didn't care at all about the other diners watching. Walked in showing off. Su Qianchen saw the roses and ring on the table. Lin Fan, what are you doing here? What do you mean by this? Her face showed zero emotion. Actually looked annoyed. Lin Fan was stunned. He didn't expect it to start like this. He stood up. A bit nervous, said, Qianchen, today's our 3-year anniversary. I wanted to surprise you. This is your surprise? Lin Fan, are you dumb? 999 roses. What? Good are they? Can they be eaten? Can they buy me a bag? Can they give me the life I want? The roses got shoved all over. Some fell to the floor. Some rolled to the edge of the table. The ring clanked as it got knocked. Lin Fan watched all this. His heart felt cut up. Those flowers were picked carefully by him. Each one meant his love for Su Qianchen. Now she's pushing them away like trash. Wow, this broke kid's pretty romantic. Too bad romance doesn't. Fix being broke. Stop trying to date. So embarrassing. Everyone in the restaurant turned to look. Some started taking pics. Some pointed and stared. Some whispered. Lin Fan's face turned as red as a pig's liver. He clenched his fists, nails digging into his skin. He wanted to argue back, but his throat felt stuck. Couldn't say a word. Qianchen, I can work harder. I'll make money soon. Lin Fan, stop fooling yourself. You're just a regular grad. Your salary is only a few thousand. Her boyfriend can't take it anymore. She turned to that rich guy. Tianyu, let's go. Being with this broke dude feels unlucky. Rich kid Zhao Tianyu laughed out loud, wrapped Su Qianchen up and walked out. As he passed Lin Fan, he purposely bumped into him. Kid, don't ever come looking for Qianchen again. She's with me now. You don't deserve her, broke boy. Lin Fan stayed where he was. His heart chilled completely. He stared at Su Qianchen's back, watching her hold another man's waist. She walked away without looking back. A tear slid down his cheek. Lin Fan, I'm breaking up with you. You're too poor. You can't give me the life I want. Lin Fan took a deep breath. His eyes went cold. You'll regret this. Regret? Lin Fan, are you daydreaming? I'd rather marry a beggar. Be with a beggar too. Other diners joined in the chaos. Some posted photos on social media. Captioned, caught a guy getting dumped. Broke kid, some laughed hard. Pointing and whispering. Lin Fan clenched his fists. His heart hurt like it was stabbed. He wanted to cry, but tears were gone. He wanted to shout, but his voice was gone. Right at that moment, his phone rang. Lin Fan pulled out his phone. A number without a name showed up. He hesitated a second, then answered. Young master, family's orders are in. Your $1 trillion assets. All global businesses are now unlocked. What did you say? Young master, your ID check is verified. Family confirmed. You're the only heir to the Lin family. All your assets, including 120 companies worldwide, and 78 treasure mines. Now you can access them as you want. The voice on the phone got more excited, like reporting some huge news. Young master, are you listening? Headquarters already sent a private jet for you. Get ready from now on. Lin Fan's mind buzzed. Totally. Stunned. $1 trillion assets. Got it. Global business heir.
He was just a regular grad.
Where would he get $1 trillion assets? The diners who mocked him just now all had their mouths open, couldn't believe their ears. Zhao Tianyu's mocking face froze. Su Qiancheng's expression got weird. You're lying, right? Zhao Tianyu stammered. Lin Fan calmly glanced at him. Didn't say anything. He dialed another number. Hello, it's me.
10 minutes.
I want the group owning this restaurant bankrupt. Also, send me the info on those mocking me just now. With that, Lin Fan hung up. The whole restaurant went dead silent. Everyone held their breath. Couldn't believe what they just heard. Zhao Tianyu froze, then burst out laughing. Stop pretending. Acting like you can bankrupt my dad's company. Who do you think you are? Su Qianchen laughed too. Lin Fan, stop trying to act mysterious. Think a broke kid like you can bankrupt my Tianyu's company. Dream on, others joined in. They thought Lin Fan was daydreaming. A broke kid. How could he bankrupt a group with one sentence? This is way too ridiculous. Just then, Zhao Tianyu's phone went wild. He took it out and checked. It was his dad calling.
Hey, Dad.
On the other end, his dad yelled, "Who did you piss off? Our company's funds got frozen. All partnerships are cut off." The bank also said, "Someone ordered to block our accounts? What the hell is going on?" Zhao Tianyu was completely stunned. I hurry and kneel down to apologize. I'm begging you, don't mess with that troublemaker. His dad's voice was trembling. That guy said he'd bankrupt us in 10 minutes. It's only been 3 minutes. Our stock has already tanked. All the banks stopped lending to us. Every partner is tearing up contracts. If this keeps going, our whole family is doomed. Zhao Tianyu's legs buckled on the spot. His phone slipped from his hand. It landed on the floor with a bang. His face turned ghostly pale. He was shaking all over. His legs turned to jelly. He almost couldn't stand up. The next second, the restaurant owner rushed in. Sweating buckets. Terror was written all over his face. I'm sorry, sir. We didn't know who we were dealing with. He dropped to his knees in front of Lin Fan. Just say the word, and we'll shut down right away. The whole place went dead silent. Everyone's eyes went wide. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Zhao Tianyu, who was so arrogant a minute ago, suddenly turned pale. His legs were shaking. He almost got down on his knees. Su Qianchen's smug look froze instantly. Her jaw dropped. She couldn't say a single word. Lin Fan looked at them. His eyes were ice cold. Weren't you all cocky just now? Go on then. Zhao Tianyu knelt on the floor, kept bowing over and over. Young Master Lin, Lin the Tycoon. Ancestor Lin, I was wrong. I really messed up. Please spare us. Su Qianchen also got down on her knees, crying her eyes out. Lin Fan, I was wrong. I really messed up. Please forgive me, okay? Lin Fan gave a cold laugh. When you threw shade at me just now, did you think today would come? He turned and walked away, leaving a cold figure behind. The show has just begun. Lin Fan walked out of the restaurant. He stood by the street. The night wind brushed his face. But he didn't feel cold at all. His phone rang again. This time, it was a call from the family headquarters. Young master, your private jet has arrived at the airport. We'll pick you up right now. Lin Fan nodded. Okay. I'll wait, won't take 5 minutes. A line of black Rolls Royces pulled up at the restaurant. A dozen bodyguards in black stepped out at once, bowing to Lin Fan. "Young master, please get in. Every one of these Rolls Royces is worth tens of millions." All lined up in perfect order. The scene was beyond stunning. People passing by stopped to watch. They whipped out their phones to take pictures. People were all talking. This is no ordinary scene. Only a true boss rolls like this. Zhao Tianyu and Su Qianchen chased outside from the restaurant, saw the whole thing, and were completely dumbfounded. Rolls Royces. Private jet. Young master. Their minds went blank. They just couldn't understand any of it. Su Qianchen was shaking all over. He realized he didn't just dump some broke guy, but someone he'll never reach in this lifetime. Lin Fan. Lin Fan. He rushed up, trying to grab Lin Fan's hand. "I was wrong. I really messed up. Please forgive me, okay? I just got confused." Lin Fan shook him off lightly. His gaze was ice cold. "When you threw shade at me before, did you imagine this happening today? Su Qianchen can't even talk straight. I regret it. I really regret it." Lin Fan sneered. "It's too late for regrets." "No, it's not too late." Su Qianchen was crying and yelling. "Lin Fan, I swear I'll treat you well from now on. Please, just give me a chance." Lin Fan looked at him, without the slightest emotion in his eyes. "Su Qianchen, you called me poor. Thought I was just ordinary. But you never knew I once wanted to give you the whole world." He paused for a second. His voice was soft, but it sent chills down everyone's spine. "Now you're not worthy." With that, Lin Fan walked to the Rolls Royce. The door opened. He got inside. The luxury inside left everyone stunned. Real leather seats. Premium sound system. Personal chauffeur. Every detail screamed top-tier status. Lin Fan, Su Qianchen knelt on the ground, crying their hearts out. "Please, please. I was wrong. I really was wrong." Lin Fan got in the car. The door shut. The crying outside faded away. The Rolls-Royce slowly drove off, fading into the night. Su Qianchen collapsed to the ground, crying out in pain. He stared in the direction Lin Fan left. Regret eating him alive. He remembered how well Lin Fan treated him. How Lin Fan scrimped and saved to buy him gifts. How Lin Fan worked late into the night, just to earn enough to buy her skincare products. But he threw all that away himself.
He thought picking Zhao Tianyu
Would bring a better life. But he was wrong. What he just let go of was a true heir to a wealthy family. Too bad the most useless thing in this world is regret. Some chances once gone are gone forever. Some people once lost never come back. The next day, Lin Fan didn't go enjoy life right away. Instead, he went back to his university. Waxia University. His alma mater. He used to get mocked here. He was left out and looked down on. Students called him poor. Teachers ignored him. The school bullies picked on him all the time. He remembered every bit of it. Every time he got wronged here. He came back today. The security guard at the gate saw the Rolls Royces and almost lost his legs. A dozen bodyguards got out. Respectfully opening the car door, Lin Fan got out of the car. "This security guard," stuttered as he asked. A guard said coldly, "This is our young master." The security guard stepped back 3 times in shock. He almost fell over. He'd met rich people before, but never a display like this. These cars, this security team. The aura here, he must be a big deal. He quickly stopped students from taking photos. Afraid to start trouble, Lin Fan walked into campus. Students around were stunned. They whispered among themselves, guessing who Lin Fan was. Who is that guy? That kind of scene is huge. Looks like Lin Fan, that broke guy from our department before. No way. How could he have a parade like this? Just then, the principal came out, nodding and bowing, with deep respect. "Young Master Lin, you're here. Welcome, welcome." All the students were stunned. Who could the principal respect like that? Lin Fan said coolly. Principal Zhang. Long time no see. The principal quickly forced a smile. Yeah. It really has been a while. Is there anything you'd like, young Master Lin? Just looking around. Lin Fan said. The principal quickly nodded. All right. I'll show you around. Lin Fan walked around campus, remembering things from back then. He recalled freshman year, when he couldn't afford a computer and had to use the library's shared PCs. But some rich kids made fun of him, called him a pauper, told him he'd be a low-level worker forever. He remembered sophomore year, joining a club event, but got turned away for not having name brand clothes. He'd prepared for that chance for so long, and just lost it. Junior year, he worked part-time to help with expenses, working at the cafeteria. He got mocked by classmates. They said he was a disgrace, said he'd never make it in life. Lin Fan took a deep breath. He kept those painful memories inside. He told himself, the ones who used to look down on him, they'll all pay the price now. Not because he wants revenge, but that's just how life is. You never know. The ordinary guy in front of you, who he'll become someday. Right then, Jiang Kong, the school bully who bullied him, showed up. He saw the principal nodding and bowing to Lin Fan. He got so scared he hid in the corner, silent. Back in the day, Jiang Kong bullied Lin Fan a lot, stole his lunch money, tore up his books, embarrassed him in front of everyone, over and over. He was Lin Fan's nightmare in school. Jiang Kong thought, I'm so screwed. How is Lin Fan this close to the principal? Maybe he's here for payback. Now he regrets all the bullying, but it's too late for regrets. Lin Fan walked over to Jiang Kong, stopped in front of him. Long time no see, Jiang Kong, he said calmly. Jiang Kong started shaking in fear, almost dropped to his knees. Lin Fan, don't you remember me? Lin Fan gave a cold smirk. I remember. Of course I do. Jiang Kong quickly forced a smile. Man, I was young and stupid before. Please don't hold it against me. Lin Fan smiled slightly. It's fine, but I still remember. Those words made Jiang Kong turn pale. His legs went weak. He fell straight to his knees. All the students around were stunned. They didn't get it. Why the arrogant school bully suddenly knelt down. Only Lin Fan knew. This was just the beginning. The people who bullied or looked down on him, they'll all pay for their arrogance. And today is just the start. The school was holding an entrepreneurship contest. The auditorium was packed. Entrepreneurs took turns pitching their projects. Judges listened carefully, asking questions now and then. Then it was class president Wang Wei's turn. He held his project PPT, voice trembling with nerves. Hello, judges. My project is. When the judges heard it, they shook their heads. The project wasn't impressive. No prospects, one judge cut him off. Yeah, there are too many like this out there. It's got no edge. Another judge chimed in. Wang Wei lost hope. He prepared for so long, pulled so many all-nighters to get this project done. But not a single investor was interested. The audience started whispering. Some people laughed. Some felt bad for him. Most just wanted to see the drama. Wang Wei's face turned bright red. He wished he could disappear. Among the audience, some classmates who used to mock Lin Fan with Wang Wei were all grinning, enjoying his misery. Class president, your project is terrible. Yeah, you think that's entrepreneurship? Keep dreaming. Wang Wei stood on stage, about to cry. He remembered how he used to mock Lin Fan, how he used to look down on him. Now it's his turn to be looked down on. It hurt so much. Just then, Lin Fan stood up. This project, I'll invest 10 million. The whole room blew up. What? 10 million?
Has Lin Fan lost it?
Is this project worth that much? Everyone was in shock. Even the judges and Wang Wei. Wang Wei froze on the spot. He couldn't believe it. He looked at Lin Fan, his eyes full of gratitude and fear. Lin Fan. Lin Fan said calmly, I'm not helping you. Just letting you know. Back then, you barely talked to me. Now you can't even reach my level. Wang Wei trembled. He recalled how he mocked Lin Fan before. Freshman year. Lin Fan was too broke for clothes. All he wore was his uniform. Wang Wei mocked him in front of everyone. Said he'd wear rags all his life. Said being his classmate was embarrassing. Sophomore year. Lin Fan wanted to join a club. Wang Wei teamed up with some others. Kicked him out of the club. The reason? Lin Fan was too poor. He dragged the club's image down. Junior year. Lin Fan took part-time jobs at school. Wang Wei called him a pauper everywhere. Said all he'd ever be was a bottom feeder.
He'd never make it.
Now, with just a word. Lin Fan invested 10 million. Wang Wei got down and kept bowing his head. Young Master Lin. I'm sorry, I really am. Please forgive me. Lin Fan looked at him coldly. Didn't say a word. Young Master Lin. Wang Wei cried, I'll do anything to make it up to you. Please don't give up on me. Lin Fan turned and left, leaving only a cold back view. Lin Fan. Wang Wei ran after him, crying. But the bodyguard stopped him. He dropped to his knees. Regretted it to his core. He once mocked Lin Fan. Looked down on him. Thought Lin Fan would never make it. But now Lin Fan easily put up 10 million. While he's still broke. The gap is just huge. So huge it's crushing. Too bad. It's all too late now. Those who once mocked Lin Fan are paying the price for their arrogance. And today is just the start. Lin Fan didn't look back at Wang Wei. He doesn't need their apologies. He just wants them to know. The guy they look down on is now out of their league. Lin Fan went back to his company. Sat in his top floor office, looking at the city lights outside. He just came back to his old school and made those who doubted him pay. Now he had something else to handle. Zhao Qianyu, the rich kid who once humiliated him. He's probably begging for mercy now. Sure enough, not even 30 minutes later, his secretary knocked and entered. Young Master Lin, the Zhao family is downstairs. They want to see you. Lin Fan frowned. I won't see them. But the secretary hesitated. They brought the whole family and are kneeling downstairs. They said they want to apologize. Lin Fan sneered. Let them kneel. When they've knelt long enough, tell them to leave. The secretary nodded. Downstairs. Zhao Qianyu's whole family knelt on the ground, kept bowing their heads. Young Master Lin. Please, young Master Lin, have mercy on us. Zhao Qianyu's father cried out. We really know we were wrong. Office workers nearby started gathering around. Everyone was talking about it. Isn't that the boss of Zhao Group? Why is he kneeling here? He must have messed with someone powerful. Serves him right. That's what they get for being so arrogant. Zhao Tianyu is on his knees. He's full of regret. He remembered mocking Lin Fan. He remembered humiliating Lin Fan. Now karma hit him hard.
He used to drive a luxury car.
And live in a mansion. Thought he was untouchable. But now he's kneeling on the ground, begging for forgiveness like a dog. Young Master Lin. Zhao Tianyu cried out. Please just give me one more chance. I swear I'll be a good man from now on. Upstairs, Lin Fan looked out the window. He said coldly, tell them. Pay back every cent you owe. The secretary nodded and went downstairs to deliver the message. Half an hour later, news spread that Zhao Group went bankrupt. The Zhao family's houses and cars were all seized. Even their bank accounts got frozen. The once arrogant people became paupers overnight. Zhao Qianyu couldn't believe it when he woke up. He lost everything. He wanted to beg Lin Fan. But Lin Fan wouldn't even see him. He tried asking old friends for help. But as soon as they heard he went broke, they all stayed far away, afraid he'd ask for money. The people who used to look down on Lin Fan now can only look up to him. The ones who bullied him now have nothing at all. That's what happens when you cross a top tycoon. Lin Fan stood by the floor-to-ceiling window in his office, watching the Zhao family downstairs. A cold smile appeared on his lips. He didn't take revenge. He just wanted them to understand. Some people can't be offended. That's reality. Harsh but true. You'll never know who you're dealing with today, or who they'll become in the future. Su Qianchen kept asking about Lin Fan, and waited outside his company. She'd gotten so skinny. Her face looked exhausted. Her eyes were swollen from crying. The proud pretty girl she once was now looked like a beggar. She realized she missed out on a top heir. And all of this was her own doing. Lin Fan, when she saw him walk out of the company, she ran straight to him. I was wrong. I really was wrong. Please forgive me. I was just confused for a while. Now, an even better girl stood by Lin Fan. Kinder too, and more respectful. Her name's Shen Jiai, daughter of the Shen family, and Lin Fan's girlfriend now. Shen Jiai not only came from a great family, but she's also kind, and would never be as snobbish as Su Qianchen. Lin Fan held Shen Jiai close, barely glanced at Su Qianchen. Who are you? Su Qianchen froze. She didn't expect Lin Fan to be so cold. I'm Su Qianchen. I'm your girlfriend. She cried out. How can you not recognize me? Lin Fan sneered. We broke up ages ago. Now I have someone better. Su Qianchen chased after him and grabbed Lin Fan's hand. He gently shook her off, his eyes cold as ice. I gave you so many chances before. You were the one who walked away. Now you don't deserve me. No, I deserve you. I really do. Su Qianchen sobbed. From now on, I'll treat you right. Please, I'm begging you. Lin Fan shook his head. It's too late. He wrapped his arm around Shen Jiai and walked away. Su Qianchen collapsed on the ground, crying her heart out. She watched Lin Fan and Shen Jiai, full of deep regret. She once saw Lin Fan as worthless, just a cash machine, and someone she could walk all over. She chose Zhao Tianyu, thought life would be better. But she was wrong. Zhao Tianyu was a jerk. Just used her for fun. He never cared about her feelings. But Lin Fan once cherished her and gave her the world. But she ruined everything herself. Now Lin Fan's a top tycoon, mega rich, while she has nothing left. She wanted to beg Lin Fan, but Lin Fan wouldn't even give her a look. She wants a fresh start, but nobody's willing to give her a chance. Her old pride now holds her back. Sadly, it's too late for everything. Regret is the most useless thing in the world. Some chances, if you miss them, they're gone forever. Some people, once they're gone for good. Su Qianchen finally realized. Her choices ruined her life. A month later, Lin Fan hosted a highly anticipated private party. The banquet hall was beautifully decorated, glittering and grand. Guests from all over the world gathered. It was a massive and impressive event. Every guest there was a top tycoon from China or abroad, CEOs of public companies, top celebrities in entertainment, and heads of major families. These people are usually high and mighty, with massive power. But today, they waited humbly to the side, all hoping to meet the star of the night, waiting for his big entrance. Here comes young Master Lin. As the announcer's strong voice rang out, the grand double doors of the hall swung open. Lin Fan walked in calmly. The moment he appeared, everyone stood up automatically, perfectly in sync, and loudly welcomed him. Welcome, sir. Lin Fan smiled lightly, spoke calmly but with authority. Everyone, no need to be so formal. He walked steadily to the head seat and sat down elegantly. The rest of the guests followed and sat respectfully, then started mingling and chatting. Congrats on taking charge of your family, Lin Xiao. You deserve it. Young Master Lin, please take care of us in the future. We hope to grow together with you. Lin Xiao? Is there a chance to work with you? Lin Fan replied to each guest politely. Warm, but still commanding respect. He carried himself with true presence. Wearing a perfectly tailored suit, every move showed natural class and grace, amazed everyone present, and won their respect. At this moment, a powerful foreign tycoon stood up, raised his glass, and said, Lin Xiao, a toast to you. You're so young, yet already so successful. It's really impressive. Lin Fan stood up too, and raised his glass in return. Humbly but confidently said, You flatter me. I don't deserve it. Other guests whispered to each other. They never expected. All these respected international figures, in front of Lin Fan, would act so humble and respectful. Someone finally realized. Even the big shots they admired looked tiny before this young man, barely worthy to speak. He's not just a super tycoon.
He's a rule maker in this world.
That's what sets him apart. He doesn't need to say much, or try too hard. Just by sitting there, he controls the whole atmosphere. Everyone acts because of him. Everything changes for him. He's the center of this world. No one can shake his power. All the elites competed at the party, showing goodwill to Lin Fan. Everyone wants to get closer to him. Some offer priceless, rare gifts. Some propose generous business deals. Some even plan to introduce their daughters to him, hoping to become family. But Lin Fan always stays calm and composed. He politely turns down all these attempts to please him. He doesn't need their benefits. He has his own principles and bottom line.
He's never swayed by material things.
That's the real charm of a top tycoon. He doesn't need to please anyone. Yet everyone is willing to act for him, live for him. At the banquet, the people who once mocked Lin Fan openly now put on bootlicking smiles. They crowd over to flatter him. That classmate who used to mock Lin Fan's shabby clothes and his awkward manners now stands shaking, holding a wine glass, his face fixed in a forced, flattering smile, his voice nearly trembling. Young Master Lin, I was blind back then. I really failed to see your greatness. Please forgive someone as narrow-minded as me. Please don't bother with people like me. Lin Fan just gently swirls the wine glass in his hand, his eyes distant and detached. He calmly says, I remember everything, very clearly. This one simple sentence hits the other person like a bolt of lightning. His face turns pale instantly. He can barely hold onto his glass, wine nearly spilling out. And those school bullies, who used to pick on Lin Fan constantly, are now hiding in the darkest corner of the hall, not even daring to look up. Scared Lin Fan will notice them, afraid of coming payback. And that rich kid who always flaunted his wealth and humiliated Lin Fan for being poor, now doesn't even have the guts to look at Lin Fan. He just stares at the floor, head down. He knows perfectly well. Lin Fan is far beyond his reach now. No comparison at all. Those who once looked down on or betrayed Lin Fan now feel nothing but regret. Deep, heartbreaking regret. Su Qianchen hides outside the banquet hall, crying hard, choking on her words, talking to herself. I really regret it. She desperately wishes she could turn back time. But Lin Fan won't even spare her a glance. When she tries to sneak into this celebrity-packed banquet, security spots her immediately. They block her at the entrance without mercy. She can only stand in the darkness outside the lights, listening to the laughter inside, crying quietly alone. Lin Fan sits at the main table, coldly taking in the faces around him, a faint mocking smile on his lips. Memories flood back like a tide. All those moments of being stung by contemptuous looks, days crushed by mockery, swallowing his pain alone in the dark. Now everything has finally turned around. He proved his worth through strength, answered all doubts with success. He's no longer the loser they took him for. Now he stands at the top, looking down on them all. This isn't revenge. Lin Fan's voice is calm but firm. I'm just taking back the dignity that was always mine.
He silently raises his glass.
and speaks loudly to the whole room. Let's drink together. Instantly, all the guests stand up and respectfully raise their glasses back. Lin Fan downs his drink in one go, then quietly puts the empty glass on the table. Being low-key never means weakness, and patience doesn't mean incompetence. When a true tycoon takes off the mask of normalcy, the whole world trembles. Banquet over. Lin Fan looks at the ones who once trampled his pride, but feels completely calm inside. He doesn't need empty apologies anymore, and fake remorse means nothing. All he wants to do is make everyone see him clearly. Lin Fan was never someone they could push around as they pleased. He has pride that can't be smeared, lines you can't cross, dignity you can't violate. And those who once looked down or hurt him will pay the price they owe. Tonight is only just the beginning. After the banquet, Lin Fan stands alone on the top floor observation deck, quietly looking down at the dazzling city lights below. Thousands of lights shine like a river of stars. Car lights flow through the streets like magic. The whole city looks like a sea of shining lights, brilliant and magnificent. Everything seems so beautiful and unreal. Not long ago, he was just a poor guy everyone looked down on, publicly dumped by his ex-girlfriend, mocked by rich kids at will, and ignored by everyone around. He can still clearly remember walking several subway stops home to save a few bucks, rather than paying the fare, comparing prices over and over just to buy one decent shirt, calculating every penny for a week. Once, just to get his girlfriend a birthday gift, he worked all night to save money. So tired he could barely keep his eyes open. But now, he's a top tycoon holding incredible wealth, trillions in assets in his hands, controlling core industries worldwide. With global influence, he could easily buy the whole city, shift the world economy, even decide the fate of millions. The turnaround feels like a wild dream. From the moment he got dumped, his life changed totally. Trillions in wealth, unmatched power, the awe and loyalty of countless people, all centered on him. He showed the world directly and clearly. Never underestimate anyone. That regular person you look down on today might become someone you can never reach tomorrow. Lin Fan takes a deep breath of the cool night air and looks past the flashing neon lights, gazing up at the deep, distant stars. He knows for sure what he has now is only a beginning. His future will be on the global stage, stirring up waves worldwide, writing a real legend. Just then, his phone rings. Caller ID says family headquarters. Lin Fan calmly answers the call. His tone is peaceful. Hello, this is Lin Fan. A respectful, serious voice comes from the other end. Young master, an important matter to report. The family elders have decided to hold the World Family Summit next month. They will officially announce you as the sole heir. All global branch leaders will attend. Please be prepared in advance. Lin Fan responds calmly. Okay, I got it. He ends the call. Once again he looks out, over the city filled with lights. A faint smile appears on his lips.
His era
Is just now truly beginning. Those who once looked down, bullied, or betrayed him will all pay for what they did, pay the price they owe. And from this moment on, Lin Fan's name will echo around the world. He'll become a true top-tier tycoon. While Lin Fan was making waves at home, bad news came from overseas. An arrogant foreign conglomerate, backed by some wealth, dared to take over Lin Fan's core businesses. They even bragged openly, calling Lin Fan just a lucky upstart. They said he didn't deserve such a big business empire. They even claimed they'd take over all of Lin Fan's assets within 3 days and totally dominate the domestic market. This group was called the Wells Group. They've been entrenched in Europe for decades and are a major player internationally. With their influence in Europe and America, they thought they could do whatever they wanted in China, totally ignoring local companies. The Wells Group's CEO, William, was totally arrogant. In an interview, he even said, Lin's group is just a bunch of upstarts. He doesn't deserve a place in the global market. We'll use our strength to show them what a real business empire looks like. When the news reached Lin Fan, he didn't even bat an eye. He just told his assistant, tell the Wells group not to get too cocky. The assistant was stunned for a moment, but did as instructed. When William got the message, he didn't care at all. Instead, he acted even tougher. Who does Lin Fan think he is? Tell him and his small company to get out of the market. Don't get in the way of our business. Lin Fan knew reasoning with people like that wouldn't work, so he had to show his strength. He picked up the phone and called the family headquarters. Hello, it's me. Check into the Wells Group's background. I want to know every weakness they have. Half an hour later, a detailed report landed on Lin Fan's desk.
He skimmed through it quickly
And cracked a cold smile. So the Wells Group looked strong on the outside, but was rotten inside. They cooked their books and dodged taxes, and even laundered money, and did a bunch of illegal deals. The funniest part was, their management was a mess, with upper management always scheming against each other. The whole company was like a building ready to collapse. Lin Fan picked up the phone again and called some key contacts. Spread the word. Hit the Wells Group with total sanctions. I want them to go bankrupt in 3 days. In less than half a day, the Wells Group's global stock price tanked. All their overseas partners cut ties. Their main cash flow instantly dried up. Even worse, their HQ was raided by tax officials from multiple countries. All their dirt was dug up. The media blew up with coverage about the Wells Group scandals. Investors pulled out in droves, and employees quit en masse. The whole place turned into chaos. William totally panicked. He had never seen a collapse happen so fast. He jumped on a late-night flight over and knelt at Lin Fan's building, begging for forgiveness.
He cried, begging Lin Fan to spare him.
Young Master Lin, I was wrong. I really screwed up. Please let me go. I won't dare mess up again. Lin Fan just stared at him coldly, not saying a word. William just kept crying. Young Master Lin, as long as you let me go, I'll get out of the Chinese market and never dare come back. Lin Fan calmly said, On my turf? Outsiders don't get to run wild. If you don't like it, get out of the market. William crawled away in panic and never set foot in China again. Because of this hit, the Wells Group completely vanished from the scene. Everyone who wanted to challenge Lin Fan learned a lesson from this. Never mess with people you shouldn't mess with. Back when Lin Fan was keeping a low profile, his distant relatives were all snobs. Every holiday they'd mock him. They said he'd never amount to anything and would always be single. Even Lin Fan's parents suffered with him. They'd get openly excluded at family gatherings, totally robbing his family of any dignity. He remembered once, when Lin Fan's family attended a reunion, they got mocked by the relatives as soon as they walked in. Xiao Fan, same old you. Still so poor. Heard you only make a few thousand a month. How do you even survive? But look at our Zhao Wang, making over $1 million a year, and now a company executive. Those words cut Lin Fan deeply, but he still forced a smile, not daring to argue back. Even worse, they made Lin Fan's parents sit in a corner, not letting them at the main table, and not allowing them to eat the good food. His parents just swallowed their pride, not wanting to make things hard for Lin Fan. But every bit of their pain, Lin Fan noticed. Now that word spread that Lin Fan became super rich. These snobby relatives immediately changed their tune. They showed up with big gifts at his door, calling him their favorite nephew. Xiaofan's cousins even shamelessly begged Lin Fan for jobs, asking him to help their kids out. They even pretended that all the past stuff was just jokes, and claimed they'd always cared about Lin Fan. Looking at their fake faces, Lin Fan just sneered inside. Back then they looked down on his parents, and now they wanted to cozy up. No way. Oh, isn't that uncle number 2? Lin Fan said coldly. Didn't you say I was hopeless before? Said I didn't deserve to be at the family gatherings? So why are you here now? Uncle number 2 awkwardly forced a smile. Xiaofan, I didn't really mean it back then. Didn't mean it? Lin Fan cut him off. Back then you said my parents didn't deserve the main table. And they were a shame. Were those not on purpose too? Uncle number 2 went pale. Not knowing what to say, Lin Fan went on. Back then your son said, I'd always be just a low-level worker. And didn't deserve to hang out with you guys. Did you forget all that? Uncle number 2 hung his head down. Afraid to speak, Lin Fan stood up and pointed at the door. Get out. Take your gifts and get out of my house. From now on, for family gatherings, you're not welcome here ever again. The relatives wanted to plead, but Lin Fan had someone throw their gifts out.
He listed their nasty deeds from the past right there.
Not giving them an ounce of face. Back then, you all gave my parents the cold shoulder and humiliated me countless times. And now you want to cozy up? No way. He had his bodyguards throw these relatives out and said from now on, family gatherings, they're never allowed inside again. The relatives left in embarrassment, totally losing face. Neighbors saw this and applauded, saying it was so satisfying watching them leave. Lin Fan felt nothing inside. He didn't need that fake family love. He's got his own boundaries and principles. Anyone who once looked down on his parents will pay for it. And today is just the beginning. Lin Fan drove his low-key, yet super expensive car, cruising slowly down the main road. It all started out as wanted to clear his head, to ease the work stress of late. Unexpectedly, while in a busy area,
He ran into a staged accident.
a burly man saw his chance, lunged at the car's hood, then collapsed on the ground, clutching his leg tightly, howling in fake agony,
He claimed Lin Fan hit him hard.
and demanded a fortune, asking for 100,000 yuan now. Several accomplices swarmed in, working in perfect sync, heckling and applying pressure, trying to force a private payoff. One even threatened fiercely, if you don't pay up, don't even think of leaving. They threatened to call the police, to ruin Lin Fan's name, and make him pay dearly. Passers-by to watch, worried for the young man. Everyone felt that this refined man might suffer, since he was outnumbered by these thugs. But Lin Fan stayed calm, looking very steady.
He ignored their shouting.
Calmly telling his assistant to pull the dashcam footage and contact road management
For surveillance footage.
Meanwhile, he called the authorities, briefly explaining the scene. Young Master Lin, don't bother. An accomplice kept taunting, either pay 100,000 now, or we call the cops and ruin your reputation.
Hearing this, Lin Fan
Just gave a cold smile, with a hint of sarcasm. Police suit me just fine. Let's see who's acting today. In less than 10 minutes, officers arrived on the scene. After checking the footage, officers exposed right there the gang's fraudulent scam. Turns out this wasn't their first time doing this. They targeted luxury cars, running dozens of scams in months, stealing millions of yuan. But this time, they messed with the wrong man. Moreover, Lin Fan insisted on full prosecution through legal channels. He made these blackmailers pay a very heavy price. They lost all illegal gains and sold assets for damages. They could never scam again. The leader got 5 years, and the rest were jailed too. The whole gang was busted, wiped out completely. More impressively, Lin Fan's probe found officials protecting the gang. He followed the clues to expose those abusers. Those corrupt officials were all dragged out and handed over to the law. This shook the entire city, making everyone realize Lin Fan is not to be crossed. Messing with a top billionaire is just a death wish. Ending up like this is exactly what they deserved. After this incident, public safety improved a lot, and crime rates dropped. No one dared provoke him. A man of immense power, Lin Fan won wide praise, hailed for removing the pests and fighting social injustice. He showed true responsibility and billionaire charisma. After Lin Fan's cold rejection, Su Qianchen showed no remorse. Instead, she grew malicious. She saw him with beauties, all rich and famous. Her jealousy burned hot, almost driving her mad. She couldn't accept losing such a top bachelor. So, she hired some street thugs to take private photos of him and spread rumors to ruin him. She thought such dirty tricks would force him to cave and take her back. She even planned to blackmail him, dreaming of getting rich fast. She spent all her savings to hire professional paparazzi to monitor his every move. She wanted photos of him with other women to fake a cheating scandal and destroy his reputation. But she had no idea. He had guards at all times. Every move was monitored. As soon as she started, Lin Fan's team took control. That night, Su Qianchen and the thugs sneaked outside his house, trying to take secret shots. But she never expected. Lin Fan already knew. He was waiting at the door. As she pressed the shutter, Lin Fan gave the order to seize the whole group. Su Qianchen, enough is enough. His voice was ice cold. She trembled in fear, stuttering, Lin Fan. I just wanted... What? Lin Fan cut her off. To ruin me with rumors. To blackmail me for money? Think I'm still the same man you played for a fool? The thugs saw this and were scared to death. They ratted her out instantly. Her plot was fully exposed. Lin Fan then handed all proof to police for slander and extortion. She got 3 years in prison. Once vain and beautiful, she ended up behind bars. Her life totally ruined. In the cold prison cell, she cried every day, filled with deep regret. Sick with her choices, she recalled his kindness and how she pushed him away. But it was all too late. That's the fate of a schemer. And the price for her evil. She reaped what she sowed, regretting it far too late. Lin Fan never visited her once. He didn't need her apology. What he wanted was for her to pay the price. And this time, he surely succeeded. A global elite auction, filled with tycoons and stars, began with much fanfare. Every item was priceless, from masterpieces of the Renaissance to rare, priceless jewels and treasures. Wealthy people in attendance kept raising their paddles. Competitive bidding echoed nonstop. The atmosphere reached a fever pitch. Everyone hoped to win their favorite item, to display their wealth and refined taste. Among all the auctioned items, the most dazzling was a Chinese national treasure lost overseas for a century. An imperial jade seal with dragon carvings from the Ming dynasty. Its jade is smooth and warm. The craftsmanship is exquisite. Its value is truly immeasurable.
It carries deep Chinese history
And profound cultural memory. Countless Chinese collectors and patriots over the years have tried to bring it back home. But high prices from foreign collectors blocked them every time. So the dream never came true. At this auction, the jade seal appeared again, instantly becoming the main focus. Several Western tycoons were clearly well prepared. They kept raising their offers, their tone full of arrogant ambition. Some even openly mocked. Chinese people can't understand such cultural relics. They can't afford to pay that price. This jade seal is destined for the West. Every word stung, angering the Chinese attendees, but they couldn't argue back. The bidding was already sky high, way beyond normal reach. Just as a foreign tycoon believed he'd won. Right before the hammer fell, Lin Fan calmly raised his paddle from the back. He directly added $1 billion. The whole room instantly went silent. Everyone turned to look at this man. His tone was calm, but he spent huge sums without hesitation. $1 billion drew gasps from many. That's insane. But Lin Fan didn't hesitate. He remained steady and raised the bid to 1.1 billion. The once smug foreign tycoon was stunned. He had never expected this Chinese man would have such wealth. He persisted. 1.2 billion, but Lin Fan didn't flinch. He simply said 1.5 billion. The crowd burst into an uproar. Many were left speechless. Yet Lin Fan stayed composed.
He honestly said this jade seal belongs to China.
Today it's finally coming home. No matter the cost, it's worth it. In the end, Lin Fan won the seal at an overwhelming price and immediately announced he would donate it to the National Museum for free. Everyone stood in respect at that moment. Even the foreign collectors, once arrogant, quietly lowered their heads. Their pride had disappeared. Many attendees came up to shake Lin Fan's hand, praising his vision and character. Media rushed to cover the story, calling him the pride of China. Online, people praised him as a true celebrity, the top tycoon of Lu Qinwei. Lin Fan stood on stage, quietly gazing at the jade seal. His heart was calm. He didn't care for fame or praise. He just wanted his actions to show the world China is no longer what it used to be. Our national dignity can't be challenged. Our cultural roots will eventually come home. When Lin Fan was in school, he had a teacher who cared for him. When everyone looked down on him, that teacher was the only one who believed in him, encouraged him and often helped him with his homework, and supported his life. That teacher was a light in his darkest days. Her name was Teacher Li. She was a literature professor at China University. She was honest and kind. She never judged people by money. Back in freshman year, Lin Fan had no money for meals. He could only eat plain buns to stay full. Teacher Li noticed. She brought him food every day and secretly gave him money, asking him not to tell anyone. Lin Fan refused to take it. So Teacher Li said, "It's just a loan. Return it to me when you make something of yourself." In sophomore year, Lin Fan didn't do well on exams. He felt miserable. Teacher Li didn't blame him. She encouraged him, saying, "Failure isn't scary. What matters is not giving up. I believe you'll succeed." In junior year, Lin Fan was left out by classmates, feeling isolated. Teacher Li invited him to join activities, helped him fit in. She even told other teachers Lin Fan was excellent and asked them to support him more. Lin Fan always kept these memories close. He told himself, if he ever made it, he would repay Teacher Li. Now Teacher Li was framed because of school reforms. She not only lost her job, but also ended up with huge debts. Her family was struggling, with nowhere else to turn. She had to ask for help everywhere, but got rejected again and again. When Lin Fan heard what happened, he rushed to his teacher's home immediately and saw a heartbreaking scene. Teacher Li lived in an old apartment complex. There wasn't even proper furniture at home. Her wife was bedridden. They couldn't afford medicine. Teacher Li looked at Lin Fan, tears streaming down her face. "I'm useless, can't even support my own family now." Lin Fan felt a tight pain inside. He held Teacher Li's hand. "Don't worry, I'll help you." The next day, Lin Fan not only cleared all her debts, he also exposed the villain who framed her. It turned out that person's name was Zhang Kong. He was Teacher Li's colleague. Jealous of her experience and skills, so he colluded with their boss to blame her for embezzlement, ruining her reputation. Lin Fan slapped the evidence on the principal's desk and said coldly, "Do you want to resign yourself? Or should I make you infamous?" The principal was terrified and trembling, admitted to everything right away. Lin Fan didn't let it go. "I want you to apologize to Teacher Li publicly and restore her position, pay back all the losses." The principal had to comply. After that, Lin Fan paid to rebuild the school and made the teacher principal, letting her revive her career, enjoy her retirement in peace. Teacher Li looked at the successful Lin Fan, full of pride. She said she never misjudged him. "Lin Fan, your teacher always believed you would succeed. Now you did it. I'm proud of you." Lin Fan got teary-eyed, teacher. Without your help back then, I wouldn't be who I am today. A small favor deserves a huge payback. I'll never forget your kindness. Lin Fan proved it with his actions. A small favor should be repaid greatly. He never forgot those who helped him. His loyalty and kindness won tons of fans. Lin Fan's business empire kept growing, expanding fast, reaching into many fields. Unavoidably, he disrupted the interests of old capitalists. Those old capitalists saw Lin Fan getting stronger, felt jealous and uneasy, so they secretly worked together, plotted a series of traps, trying to short Lin Fan's company, steal key business secrets, and kick him out of the business circle, destroy the empire he built from scratch. These rivals were seasoned veterans, had been in business for decades. Their methods were ruthless and cunning. They planned everything carefully, set up an airtight trap. On one hand, they spread false rumors in the market, fake negative news, creating all kinds of business crises on the other hand, thinking their plan was flawless, unbreakable, believing they could totally corner Lin Fan. No chance to bounce back. First, they maliciously spread rumors, claiming Lin Fan's company was committing serious financial fraud, shaking market confidence. Then they hired people to short Lin's group stock, causing panic in the market. Lin's group stock price crashed. Investors started pulling out. The company was filled with anxiety. The situation was critical. But Lin Fan stayed totally calm.
He analyzed the crisis rationally.
Quickly realized it was all a trap set by rivals. He decided to turn their own plan against them, waiting for the right moment to strike back. Lin Fan secretly launched a thorough investigation. Step by step, he uncovered that behind these rivals, even bigger players were hidden. Turns out they were backed by foreign capital, trying to take down companies like Lin Fan's, industry leaders, to grab more control of the domestic market and suppress local business growth. Once he figured out their true background, Lin Fan carefully plotted, lured them in step by step, pretending to be in trouble on the surface, when, in fact, he'd already taken control. When his rivals thought they'd already won, ready to close in for the kill, Lin Fan suddenly fought back. He hit them with solid evidence. Not only did he crush their scheme, he seized the chance and took over all their companies, completely cleared these cancerous forces from the market. Every move was smooth and decisive. Absolutely impressive. Those arrogant old business big shots went bankrupt overnight, lost all their fortunes, left with nothing, and could never rise again. What was even crazier, Lin Fan dug even deeper, exposed their illegal trades, and a string of crimes like money laundering, got them all to court, and sent to prison, faced with absolute strength and strategy. All their schemes were worthless. Lin Fan's brilliant tactics were called legendary by the industry. All the major media rushed to cover it. People called him a business genius. Countless entrepreneurs and founders wanted to learn his secrets. But Lin Fan kept a low profile. He just said, "I only did what I had to do." After all this, the entire business world was shaken. No one dared to challenge Lin Fan again, because everyone knew messing with Lin Fan was asking for trouble. With his powerful business skills and true patriotism, he received an invitation to the national banquet. As the youngest guest at the event, he attended this top-level gathering, an honor most people can't even imagine. Even those who've hustled in the industry for decades, industry giants, might never get this far. It's the recognition everyone dreams of. The banquet hall was glittering with lights, full of grandeur. Famous figures from every field attended. Top officials and international guests gathered together, everyone of high status and great influence. When everyone looked at the young Lin Fan, they all showed surprise and respect. Many guests eagerly greeted him, hoping sincerely to connect with this business leader and build deeper ties. Mr. Lin, I've heard of you for so long. It's an honor to finally meet you. You really have a remarkable presence. Stand out from the crowd. Mr. Lin, I'm the chairman of a certain group. I've always followed your business strategies. Truly hope we can work together someday. Mr. Lin, I represent the provincial government. You're sincerely invited to come and invest. We'll offer the best partnership environment. Facing so many top people eager to talk. Lin Fan stayed composed. Answered smoothly. He was humble but still had authority. Displaying vision and great insight. Winning universal respect from the room. Even guests from overseas praised him highly and suggested cooperation across borders, hoping to team up with Lin Fan's influence and power to reach the global market. Mr. Lin, you are truly amazing. We're from Germany. Really hope to become partners with you. So young, yet so successful, Mr. Lin. It's truly rare. We sincerely hope to be friends in the future. Work together. Lin Fan replied to everyone politely. Humble yet confident. He knew this honor wasn't just for himself, but also belonged to his country. He was once just an ordinary kid with no backing. Now he's in the spotlight of his generation. Shining bright. The center of attention. He truly went from ordinary to outstanding. From the bottom to the top. Living out the dream everyone wants. During the banquet, a senior leader shook Lin Fan's hands and said sincerely, young man, the country is proud of you. Hope you keep your original intention. Stay entrepreneurial and contribute even more to the country's growth. Lin Fan replied sincerely, rest assured. I'll always remember my mission and live up to everyone's trust. At that moment, Lin Fan realized even more clearly that his efforts were about more than personal honor. They carried the hopes of his country. He vowed to prove to the world, China is rising. Chinese people will stand strong among nations. After Lin Fan achieved remarkable success in his career and gained huge wealth and status, he wasn't hooked on luxury. Instead, in quiet nights, he often remembered his early years, struggling at society's bottom. He knew deeply what ordinary entrepreneurs go through their hardship and tears. Days when he walked miles just to save subway fare, choosing to walk instead of taking the train. Times he spent hours looking for discounted clothes, roaming malls for half a day, even working all night for days on end, just to buy a decent gift for his girlfriend. These memories are still clear as day, like it was just yesterday. Back then, he was often looked down on and ignored. Sometimes went hungry and cold because he was broke. Got shut out when seeking opportunities. Every step was tough. Even now, Lin Fan has wealth and resources most can only dream of. But deep inside, he still remembers where he started. He doesn't want to see more founders, lost in the dark like he once was, struggling for a way out, but no one stepped in to help. So he made a bold decision to set up a startup support fund worth billions. It's especially for those with dreams, who are capable and full of potential, but just lack the startup capital. No matter if it's an innovative agriculture project for rural revitalization, or a tech team focusing on cutting-edge research. As long as their plans are solid, and their intentions are honest and firm, Lin Fan is always willing to help generously. He doesn't ask for shares, nor does he expect any material return.
His only wish
Is to help them turn dreams into reality, so that more valuable ideas can take root. With the fund's strong support, many struggling entrepreneurs finally saw a turning point in life, like a young man from the countryside who developed a highly efficient water-saving irrigation tech, but couldn't promote it because of money issues. After learning about the project in detail, Lin Fan invested 50 million yuan on the spot to help.
he built a production base.
And broke through the market channels. Now, this tech is being used all over China. Not only has it greatly improved farmland water efficiency, it's helped thousands of farmers earn more and get richer. Here's another example. a startup team made up of college students. They developed a groundbreaking AI system, but kept hitting walls trying to get investment. They almost hit rock bottom. Lin Fan not only funded them decisively, he also shared his own industry connections and his years of management experience. He personally guided them through the toughest early days. Now the company is listed on the stock market, worth billions. It's become a rising star in tech, and everyone's watching. After the media covered Lin Fan's acts of kindness, he quickly became praised all over the internet. Countless netizens called him a generous billionaire with heart, a role model for entrepreneurs. Some people commented that being rich, he didn't forget where he came from, and stayed true when things got tough. That's real vision and character. Many young people also felt moved, saying Lin Fan's story gave us courage to chase our dreams. We want to work hard like him and help more people in the future. For Lin Fan, compared to the vanity and flash of wealth, he values more the real impact he brings to society. Whenever he sees those helped by him change their lives, he feels truly gratified inside. He knows very well what it all means, far beyond any title or honor. True success in life isn't just about how high you stand, but if you can use your success to light the way for others. Just as Lin Fan's reputation soared outside, making headlines everywhere, several top elders from the family headquarters actually came in person. They took a private jet, kept things low-key, but brought incredible fanfare and energy. All the city's elite rushed over upon hearing the news, showing up to welcome them. Crowds gathered, luxury cars lined up, and the scene was pure spectacle. It felt like the whole city was lit up. This time, the elders came themselves, for one major reason: to officially name Lin Fan as the family's sole heir. He would take over the entire Lin family, a trillion-dollar empire, controlling all branches worldwide. He'd become the real head of the family, holding wealth and power to shape the world. Turns out when Lin Fan left the family incognito back then, it was the family's traditional test passed down for generations. As an old entertainment dynasty, the Lin family secretly controls countless industries and resources worldwide. Their status is top tier, and their power is unmatched. Almost no one can compete. The family has always had one rule: every heir must leave the family's shelter and live in disguise for 10 years to test if they can make it on their own, without relying on family resources. 10 years ago, Lin Fan quietly left his family, blending into normal society as just an ordinary guy. During these years, he's felt the ups and downs of real life, but also built an unbreakable will. He never relied on the family's money or connections. He made it all by his own brains and hard work, climbing from nothing to the top. In the end, he built up a trillion-dollar fortune and passed the family's toughest test perfectly. In a solemn family meeting, the chief elder formally announced Lin Fan, "From today, you're officially the Lin family's only heir. You'll manage all the family businesses and power, and lead the clan, taking the Lin family to new heights and creating more greatness." Thunderous applause broke out all around. Everyone at the meeting was deeply impressed by Lin Fan's achievements and skill. Their eyes were filled with respect and hope. Lin Fan stood at the top platform, looking at the elders and core family members below. Inside, he felt excited, but also the weight of responsibility. He fully understood. This was more than just a supreme honor, but a huge duty tied to the family's future. He solemnly replied, "Elders, rest assured. I, Lin Fan, will not let you down. I'll do everything I can to lead the family to more glory and keep our legacy alive." The elder nodded in relief, and then handed Lin Fan an ancient jade pendant with the Lin crest, placing it into his hand with all formality.
He said, "This is the Lin family's heirloom,
A symbol of power and duty. From today, it's passed to you. Treasure it and live up to the ancestors' trust." Lin Fan took the jade pendant and felt its weight in his palm. It was more than just a piece of jade. It was a heavy burden carrying family history and hope. Quietly, he made up his mind to prove to everyone with true strength
Lin Fan, deserved this honor.
and was worthy of this responsibility. As for those who once looked down on or bullied him, from now on, they probably don't even deserve to look up at him anymore. Lin Fan's legend is really just beginning. After taking over the family, his stage isn't limited anymore. He now wields power that sweeps the world. Stronger rivals are waiting ahead, and more world-shaking moments are about to come. This epic family rise is just getting started. When the news broke that Lin Fan was taking over the global entertainment family, it spread like wildfire. The international financial world instantly went wild. And especially, the old financial dynasties took strong offense. Among them, the top financial clan that dominated Europe for over a century, the Rothschild family, reacted the most. This family has a long history, deep resources, and their economic and political influences everywhere, all around the world, especially in Europe. They were pretty much ruling everything. The Rothschild consortium is famous for its arrogance. They look down on everyone. They think Lin Fan is too young and inexperienced. They believe he's not qualified to lead such a massive organization. What they can't accept even more is that the Eastern family Lin Fan represents is expanding rapidly worldwide. So the consortium not only publicly questioned Lin Fan's qualifications, but also attempted to seize rare overseas mines and financial licenses. They even openly insulted the Lin family at multiple international occasions, calling them just new money upstarts, not worthy to compete with century-old families. They even issued threats, demanding Lin Fan give up key industries willingly, or they won't stop. The group's leader is Alexander, a 70-something, arrogant old man. He often provokes Lin Fan in public with extremely arrogant words, like telling the young man to know his place. Some industries are not for you. No matter how great your Xia family is, it doesn't matter. You're not qualified to even talk to us. These remarks quickly reached Lin Fan, but he didn't even raise an eyebrow, as if he didn't care at all. But Alexander didn't back down. Instead, he got even bolder, using the consortium's massive resources,
He quickly froze Lin Group's
assets across Europe, and secretly sabotaged major overseas projects the Lin family was working on. He spread the word, saying he was teaming up with other old money families to totally block Lin Group from the market, trying to kick them off the international stage. Faced with this wild challenge, Lin Fan didn't hesitate and didn't waste any words. He mobilized the family's huge global resources, unleashing hidden power for a fierce counterattack in just 24 hours. The Rothschild consortium had multiple new overseas assets frozen. Several of its listed companies saw their stock prices crash. Partners of 100 years all cut ties suddenly. But what really caught them off guard was Lin Fan moving with lightning speed.
taking over the consortiums.
Core industries built over generations. And that was just the beginning. Lin Fan started digging deeper and got his hands on solid evidence of the Rothschild Consortium's illegal dealings, including cross-border money laundering and other serious crimes. He handed this evidence straight to law enforcement in several countries. Overnight, Alexander went from untouchable tycoon to internationally wanted criminal. The century-old foundation of the consortium collapsed. Everything fell apart. In the end, consortium leader Alexander had to come in person, swallow all his pride, and beg Lin Fan on his knees. "I'm sorry, young Master Lin. I truly regret what I did. Please show some mercy. Let me live." But Lin Fan's eyes were cold. He didn't waver at all. He stripped Alexander of any power and status left, turning this once powerful old money family into a complete disgrace. "This is not your turf anymore." Lin Fan spoke firmly. "If you cross the Lin family's line, this is what you get." Alexander knelt down, sobbing and crying, totally broken down. He deeply regretted everything. wished he'd never messed with Lin Fan, and never underestimated this young head of an Eastern family. But it was too late for everything. The business empire he built from scratch was wiped out completely, with no hope of recovery. Anyone who dares to touch Lin Fan's bottom line, or challenge his family's authority, even an old giant in the industry, will eventually be destroyed. News spread through the business world fast, shocking everyone like never before. Nobody dared to mess with Lin Fan or his family because everyone knew being against the Lin family means certain doom. During some rare downtime, Lin Fan went back to his alma mater to visit his mentor. But unexpectedly, he ran into the notorious school bully from back in the day, the one nobody dared to mess with. His name was Wang Bao. Back then, he acted superior just because his family had money, and bullied Lin Fan repeatedly. He often took away Lin Fan's hard-earned living expenses, tore up his textbooks and homework at will, and humiliated him in front of everyone many times, turning Lin Fan's school years into a nightmare. Lin Fan could still clearly remember. Once he saved money for a month, finally had enough to buy new clothes. But Wang Bao took all the money ruthlessly. Wang Bao even mocked him. Someone like you wants new clothes? Totally, not worthy of wearing new clothes. Lin Fan tried to get his money back, but was beaten by Wang Bao and his gang. Ended up lying on the ground, unable to get up. Another time during finals, Lin Fan was carefully answering questions, but Wang Bao deliberately tore up his exam paper, ruining his grades. Lin Fan told the teacher, but because Wang Bao was rich, the teacher looked the other way. Lin Fan had no choice but to retake the entire semester, wasting time and effort for nothing. These humiliations and injuries, Lin Fan never forgot. He once swore to himself, if he ever had the chance, he'd make Wang Bao pay. But when Lin Fan finally saw Wang Bao again, he realized the guy was now so pathetic he wasn't even worth revenge. When Wang Bao saw Lin Fan now,
He didn't hold back at all.
instead he figured Lin Fan was still the same old guy, someone he could push around. He strutted up and mocked. Well, isn't this Lin Fan that broke kid from back then? Now you actually made a name for yourself? Saying this, he put on the same old arrogant look. He even tried to push Lin Fan again, trying to show off like before. But before he could touch Lin Fan, the bodyguards nearby had already grabbed and restrained him. Wang Bao still didn't get it. He screamed, "What are you doing? Let me go. My dad is President Wang. Believe me, my dad will deal with you." But then, he saw the principal treat Lin Fan with deep respect, and heard Lin Fan now ran the city's business world, and was worth billions. He instantly turned pale, collapsing to his knees, kept bowing his head, while slapping his own face, and crying, begging Lin Fan for forgiveness. "I'm sorry, young Master Lin. I truly regret it. I shouldn't have bullied you back then. Please, I'm begging you, let me go." Lin Fan shot him a cold look, and told his guys to throw Wang Bao out of the school with no mercy. Then immediately seized all of the Wang family's businesses, made Wang Bao pay a heavy price for his past bullying. He suffered big consequences. Wang Bao knelt outside the school gate and broke down in tears as he watched Lin Fan's motorcade drive away. He remembered how he bullied Lin Fan back then. Now everything has come back around to him. His family's business was shut down overnight. His father went bankrupt and was sent to prison. And he himself completely fell to the bottom. This is karma at work. What goes around comes around. Lin Fan's sudden rise to fame brought huge popularity, but also attracted some clout-chasing influencers. They tried to ride Lin Fan's fame for their own gain. One influencer known for shocking content wanted to get more followers and money fast, so he shamelessly made up a bunch of rumors to smear Lin Fan's name. This influencer, known as Little Hay, became famous for filming expose videos online. He has over 1 million followers. He made a special video and falsely claimed that Lin Fan was a bully, harassing ordinary people. He even faked so-called evidence, trying to mislead the public and stir up online hate. In the video, he pretended to be deeply heartbroken and tearfully made up stories, saying Lin Fan looks like a rich superstar, but he's really a thug. He bullied my friend and took my friend's house by force. He even kicked them out on the street. The video spread fast, catching tons of attention from people who didn't know the truth. Little Hay's followers shot way up, and he easily made a ton of money from views. He even landed lots of ad deals from this. By spreading fake dirt about Lin Fan, he made a lot of dirty money. In the video comments section, many fooled netizens jumped in posting hateful comments, cursing and blaming Lin Fan. Some of it was shockingly nasty. Faced with these lies and attacks, Lin Fan decided on zero tolerance. His team took action right away, gathering all the evidence and suing the influencer directly, not just asking for a public apology to restore Lin Fan's image, but also demanding high compensation for defamation. After the court reviewed the case, a ruling was made quickly. The influencer had to apologize publicly and clear Lin Fan's name, plus pay huge damages. And all his social media was banned for good. Every single ad deal was cancelled at once. In just one night, the influencer who was once so popular ended up drowning in debt, completely losing all his resources and support. He hit rock bottom. But even bigger than that, while Lin Fan's team was investigating, they found out Little Hay was backed by a professional rumor-spreading group that had been attacking public figures for views and clicks, trying to get attention and traffic. Lin Fan brought them all down in one strike. He sent them straight to jail through the law, totally wiped out this source of fake rumors, trying to take down the top dog Lin Fan, just to get attention. Only led to an epic fail and a tragic ending. The whole influencer scene was shaken by this. Ever since then, no one dared spread lies about Lin Fan anymore, because everyone finally got it. Messing with Lin Fan is basically asking for it. You'd lose your name and your life, and could even end up facing jail. After taking over the family business, Lin Fan went abroad with heavy responsibility and started managing the family's main assets. But just a quick check shocked him. A bunch of subsidiary companies were full of corruption. These people relied on their seniority and had old connections backing them up. They'd been abusing their power for years and stealing company funds, even secretly working with outside forces, draining company assets bit by bit. The overseas business was a mess and riddled with problems. Lin Fan's first day in charge, he immediately started a thorough audit and uncovered lots of shocking problems. Some execs faked expenses and made up false receipts, pocketing huge sums of money. Some abused their power and secretly moved company orders to shell companies they controlled,
taking the profits for themselves.
Even worse, they sold core company secrets to competitors just to get personal gains. All of this hurt the company's interests badly and shook the family's foundation. Serious punishment was a must. To make it worse, these execs even openly challenged Lin Fan. They thought they were too senior to be touched and believed Lin Fan was too young and unexperienced, easy to control. Some even teamed up trying to push him out. Lin Fan, we've worked here for 20 or 30 years. Why should we leave just because you say so? We built this overseas market from scratch. This isn't your place. You, a rookie, should stay out of this. Facing their challenge, Lin Fan stayed calm. He had already dug up all their dirt with careful investigation. He had proof of all their crimes. On his very first day, he took action at once and fired every single person involved on the spot. Immediately, he froze all their assets and handed over full evidence to the law. In the end, those arrogant troublemakers all ended up jailed and paid the price. Afterwards, Lin Fan quickly promoted a group of talented, loyal new managers, improved business processes, and optimized the company structure. With his tough leadership, the overseas business turned profitable in just 1 week. Company value shot up. The old money-losing branches now doubled their profits, and the once lazy team found their fighting spirit again. Even lost market share was taken back fast. He won it back in no time. Lin Fan acted hard and fast, cleaning up the chaos, wiping out hidden risks within the company, and establishing himself as a powerful new leader. In overseas business circles, no one dared to look down on him again. This young but sharp leader. As for the old execs now in jail, it's too late for regrets. They thought Lin Fan was naive and inexperienced. No one expected him to be that decisive. By the time they realized, their careers were already over. No hope of making a comeback. Lin Fan was attending an exclusive high-end party abroad. In that fancy crowd, a group of local rich kids flaunted their status and showed open disdain for this outsider. They believed Lin Fan just relied on family money and was some spoiled rich kid with no real skills, not worth taking seriously. These rich heirs, they're all from the most famous local elite families. Each family owns assets ranging from hundreds of millions to billions. They usually do whatever they want. They're arrogant and rude. When they noticed Lin Fan seemed a bit unfamiliar, like he didn't know the local social rules, they started talking among themselves, thinking they'd take this chance to teach him a harsh lesson, just to show off their power here. So they all ganged up on him. They cornered Lin Fan in one area of the hall, throwing every insult they could think of. Hey, where'd this guy sneak in from? Must be an outsider. Didn't even bother to figure out what kind of place this is. You think you deserve to show up here? If you know what's good for you, you'd better leave now. Some even accidentally knocked over their drinks, spilling wine all over Lin Fan's suit. Someone even tried to push him around, trying to force him out of the hall, to show who really runs the place. One guy got even cockier and shouted, "Do you know who I am? My dad is the richest man in this city. You dare go against me? I'll make your life a living hell here." But what they never expected was, the man they thought was easy to bully was actually one of the most powerful men in the world. Lin Fan just gave them a calm look, and his bodyguards by his side moved with lightning speed, taking down all these arrogant rich kids and locked them all up tight. Not long after, these young men's parents, who were all big shots in local business, rushed to the scene as soon as they heard. The moment they saw Lin Fan, their faces totally changed. They hurried forward to bow and apologize, even scolded their kids harshly right there, afraid Lin Fan might take it out on the whole family. "Mr. Lin, I'm so sorry. This is my failure as a parent. My son was blind to your status, Mr. Lin. Please forgive us. Mr. Lin, I'll make sure to punish him when we get home. It will never happen again." But Lin Fan stayed completely calm. He just announced that all those who challenged him were now blacklisted, cutting off all business ties with their families right away. And just like that, these spoiled rich brats who'd always relied on their family's name suddenly lost all protection. Now everyone's laughing at them. They were totally stunned. They never imagined Lin Fan's power was this overwhelming. With just a few words, he could crush their entire families. They begged Lin Fan for mercy, crying their eyes out. But Lin Fan never budged. Against real power like his, all these so-called local tyrants were nothing but ants. Not worth a fight. News spread fast among all the rich and powerful circles. From then on, no one dared pick a fight with Lin Fan. Everyone finally realized going after Lin Fan was basically suicide. Now, Lin Fan strolled leisurely down the busy overseas streets, enjoying the lively foreign vibe. But deep inside, he kept thinking about the past. Then suddenly, he noticed an old man nearby. The man looked like he was in his 60s.
His hair completely gray.
Face full of exhaustion. Dressed very simply. Sitting alone on a bench by the street. Lin Fan's heart skipped a beat. because he instantly recognized the old man. It was the very person who helped him years ago when he was down and out, his kind benefactor, Grandpa Zhang. Even though time had left marks on the old man's face, that gentle, strong look was something Lin Fan could never forget. It was burned into his memory forever. Thinking back, Lin Fan had hit rock bottom. Completely broke, hungry and freezing. He even once passed out on a cold street. That winter was freezing, with biting winds everywhere. Lin Fan was kicked out by his heartless landlord. He had nowhere to go. Even a single meal was out of reach. He curled up at the street corner, thinking he might just freeze or starve to death. Hopelessness and helplessness filled his heart. Just at his darkest hour, Grandpa Zhang happened to walk by. He saw Lin Fan's miserable state and didn't hesitate at all. He walked up and showed concern, then brought him back to his tiny home. The old man cooked him a hot bowl of noodles, warming not only Lin Fan's body, but also his frozen heart. "Eat up, young man. Don't let yourself go hungry." Grandpa Zhang spoke gently, with kindness in his eyes. Lin Fan wolfed down the noodles, and tears poured from his eyes. He choked up and asked, "Grandpa, why are you helping me like this? I can't pay you back a single cent." But Grandpa Zhang just smiled, waved his hand and said, "Who said I want your money? You look like a good kid who's having a hard time. If I can help, then I will. Don't lose hope, son. Life is full of ups and downs. Just hang in there, and you'll find success one day." Those words and that warm bowl of noodles were things Lin Fan would never forget. From that moment on, he made a quiet vow. If he ever made it in life, he'd repay Grandpa Zhang with all he had. That kindness became his motivation to move forward, and was his most precious memory. Time flew by. Now Grandpa Zhang was much older, but unfortunately his family business collapsed, and he was seriously ill. Life became incredibly tough. Even in these hard times, the old man never wanted to burden anyone, choosing to face it all on his own, and working through each day alone. Lin Fan followed Grandpa Zhang back to his shabby little house. What he saw broke his heart. There was barely any real furniture inside. The walls were stained and old. A sense of loneliness filled the air. Grandpa Zhang lay weakly on the bed, his face pale. Clearly, he was very sick. "Grandpa, what's going on? Are you feeling sick?" Lin Fan walked up with concern, his voice full of worry. The old man slowly opened his eyes and weakly asked, "Who are you? I don't think I know you." Lin Fan held Grandpa Zhang's hand tightly, his eyes getting wet, and with emotion he said, "Grandpa, it's me, Lin Fan. 10 years ago, you saved my life. You gave me food and a place to stay, and you encouraged me not to give up hope. Do you remember now?" Grandpa Zhang paused for a second. He looked carefully at Lin Fan's face. Then memory slowly came back. He recognized the once helpless young man, and a smile of relief appeared on his face. "It's you, kid. You've really grown up and made something out of yourself." Lin Fan, choked with emotion, said sincerely, "Grandpa, I've never forgotten your kindness. Not for a second. Now that I have the ability, I'm here to repay you. You deserve to live a good life." The next day, Lin Fan took action without hesitation. He immediately reached out to the best local hospital
He arranged a full medical checkup for Grandpa Zhang.
and set up a high-quality treatment plan. He also hired a professional, dedicated caregiver to look after the old man's daily needs around the clock. On the third day, that's not all. Lin Fan went out of his way to help the old man. He paid off all the debts Grandpa Zhang had gathered, totally relieved him of all financial burdens. Seeing Grandpa Zhang still cared about business, Lin Fan invested and helped him restart a new venture. Not only did it restore the old scale, it even expanded further, brought new energy into the business. In addition, Lin Fan bought Grandpa Zhang a comfortable and spacious mansion. He also got him a nice car, made sure the old man could enjoy a carefree life in his later years, with plenty of food and clothes. Every day is safe and happy. Grandpa Zhang witnessed everything. He was filled with comfort and gratitude.
He sighed and said, "Young man,
I just helped you a little back in the day. Never thought you'd remember it this long. You're really a good person, kind and loyal. You're destined for wealth and success." Lin Fan held the old man's hand tightly. His eyes glistened with tears. He sincerely replied to Grandpa Zhang, "Without your selfless help back then, I wouldn't be who I am today. You gave me a second life and hope. A little kindness should be repaid with great gratitude. That's my baseline as a person, and my lifelong belief." Lin Fan showed with real actions exactly what repaying kindness means. His deep gratitude and strong character touched Grandpa Zhang and became a legend among those around them. He earned great respect and praise from many, truly showed the power of loyalty and gratitude. The world's top tech summit opened grandly. Top tech elites and executives from around the globe gathered. Everyone was together in one place, discussing technology development, competing for project deals. All the bigwigs showed off their abilities. Everyone wanted to come out on top. This was a major event in the tech industry and a showdown of strength. A few overseas tech giants used their advanced technology, openly excluded the China teams, put down domestic tech, and tried to monopolize core technologies, jacked up prices for huge profits. Their arrogance was off the charts. Chinese tech is nothing special, no real innovation at all. An American tech mogul mocked, "Yeah, China only knows how to copy. Where's your original tech?" A European giant chimed in, "Our technology is world-leading. You want to learn, pay the patent fee." The Chinese reps were furious, but they really weren't as skilled, so had to swallow their anger. Just then, Lin Fan attended the summit as China's representative. He showed off his family's control of a world-class tech team, announced several breakthrough tech achievements, directly broke the overseas tech monopoly. "This is our new generation AI. Its computing power is 10 times more advanced than anything out there," Lin Fan calmly said. "This is our quantum computer, already commercialized. Our new energy tech boosts efficiency by 30%, cuts costs in half." All the tech bigwigs were stunned. They all eagerly asked Lin Fan for advice, wanted partnership and tech licensing. Even the arrogant overseas giants had to bow down. No one dared look down on Chinese tech anymore. "Mr. Lin, your tech is amazing. Can we work together?" "Mr. Lin, we'd like to bring in your AI tech." "Mr. Lin, we're willing to pay big bucks for your patents." Lin Fan responded to each one, but firmly, "Our technology is open. But there's a condition. It can't be used to sanction China or harm China's interests." The whole place went silent. Everyone was floored by Lin Fan's presence. They understood. Chinese tech had risen. Not something you can bully anymore. With absolute strength, Lin Fan proved China's tech on the world stage, dominated the scene, and won global respect. Fully revealed the confidence and power of a great nation. At this summit, Lin Fan didn't just win with technology. He won with dignity. Back then, Su Qianchen heartlessly abandoned Lin Fan and ran to the arms of rich kid Zhao Jijianyu. She ended up in jail for her wicked ways. Around the same time, Zhao Tianyu's family fell apart. Complete bankruptcy, from the top to the bottom. Became an outcast in society. That once wealthy, handsome, carefree young man now can't even afford a proper meal. Barely survived by picking trash. Wearing tattered clothes. Face haggard. Totally different from his old self. Zhao Tianyu desperate and broke. Hurt by chance that Lin Fan has become a world-class leader, with immense power and riches. Driven by despair and jealousy, he let go of all dignity and pride. Humbly went to Lin Fan's mansion, trying to latch onto someone he once stomped on. He acted meek and submissive. Begged Lin Fan for a chance to get back into high society, to get back in. Even promised to be Lin Fan's follower or assistant. willing to serve, do whatever is needed. Totally forgot how arrogant he used to be, and how he once humiliated Lin Fan. Mr. Lin, I really know I was wrong. Please, just give me another chance. Zhao Tianyu knelt on the ground, kept bowing his head. His voice choked up. I'm willing to do anything for you. Serve tea, fetch water. Be your servant. As long as you let me stay. Lin Fan stared coldly at his old rival, not moved at all. He remembered clearly how Zhao Tianyu once mocked him for being poor and useless, how he trampled Lin Fan's dignity publicly, how he teamed up with Su Qianchen to push him to the edge. You think I'll keep you here? Lin Fan replied with a mocking tone, with cold eyes. Mr. Lin, I truly regret it, Zhao Tianyu cried, tears streaming, almost crawling on the ground. Back then, I was blinded by greed, tricked by Su Qianchen. That's why I treated you like that. I'm really sorry now. Lin Fan cut him off ruthlessly. You regret, but not hurting me back then. You just regret losing money and status. If I had nothing today, would you still be here begging me? Zhao Tianyu was speechless. He turned pale, had nothing to say. Lin Fan continued. You and Su Qianchen once bullied me together, stepped all over my dignity, ended up like this. You brought it on yourself. With that, Lin Fan waved for his bodyguards, ordered them to kick Zhao Tianyu out, clearly said he'd never accept him, so Zhao Tianyu would give up for good. Get out and don't let me see you again. Zhao Tianyu left in shame, staring at Lin Fan's dazzling power and glory behind him, his heart full of regret, hurting like crazy, never able to get close again. He remembered how he used to, that arrogant look, thinking of how he used to mock Lin Fan for being a nobody his whole life. But now all that ridicule is like sharp blades, coming right back at him. This is the price for kicking someone when they're down. Lin Fan doesn't need an apology from people like that. He wants them to realize some mistakes, once made, mean there's no turning back. After Lin Fan took over the family, there were still some stubborn elders from distant branches. They thought Lin Fan was too young and impulsive, that he wasn't fit to lead the family. They plotted behind his back, trying to sabotage Lin Fan at every turn, blocking his decisions, even trying to push their own kids to power and split up the family assets, trying to overthrow Lin Fan's leadership, stirring up chaos within the family. These dissenters were all elders of the family. They had some say in family matters. They couldn't stand Lin Fan's reforms, thought he was too young and inexperienced, thought he would ruin the family. So they joined forces trying to push him out, wanted to get rid of Lin Fan. Lin Fan, you're still too young, not suited to run the family, one elder said. Yeah, the family business took generations to build. Why should you alone call the shots? Another elder chimed in. We propose making Lin Hao the heir instead. He's more mature and steady than you. Faced with these corrupt members within the family, Lin Fan showed no mercy. He knew they didn't care about the family. They were only after personal gain. If he let them do as they wished, the family would fall apart eventually. He brought out proof of their corruption, and evidence that they plotted with outsiders, exposed it to all the family members, and kicked them out of the family, stripped them of their status and assets. Those with serious offenses were sent straight to the authorities. Here's all the evidence of your corruption. Lin Fan slammed the files on the table. You think I didn't know what you were up to? Pocketing money, collaborating with outsiders, and scheming to seize power. Those charges are enough to put you in prison for life. The elders' faces turned pale, begging Lin Fan on their knees. We're sorry. Please forgive us. But Lin Fan stayed firm. It's too late. You made your choices? Now face the consequences. With swift, decisive action, he wiped out all opposition in the family, united the family's authority, and made everyone truly respect him. No one dared to cross him again. The family became even more stable and stronger than ever. Those ousted elders regretted it deeply in prison. They thought Lin Fan would be easy to bully. Never expected he'd be this ruthless. But now it was too late. They could never return to the family. After countless hardships and tests in life, Lin Fan went from being publicly shunned and humiliated, even abandoned as a poor kid, to rising up against all odds, and eventually controlling assets worth billions. In the world of global business and power, he became a top player with influence over everything. Those who used to look down on him now can only look up to him, unreachable. Those who bullied him before have already paid a terrible price for their actions. And the ones who left him at his lowest are now full of regret, haunted by the pain of their short-sightedness and cold hearts. It cuts them to the core. He now holds wealth that can move the world, an unmatched power. But he's always kept kindness in his heart, knows how to be grateful and give back, never hesitates to help in critical moments. But when facing provocation or injustice, he never backs down. He defends his dignity and order with thunderous actions. It was thanks to his extraordinary talent, his far-sighted vision and unwavering resolve, that Lin Fan climbed, step by step, to the very top of global wealth and power, whether on the battlefield of business or the ever-changing international stage. Even in the complicated world of human relationships and social dealings, Lin Fan used his wisdom and presence to push everything to the limit. He became the image countless people dreamed of, but could never reach. Now, Lin Fan stands tall at the top of the world, looking down at everyone with an almost legendary presence. His figure is no longer just his own, but a living legend, a symbol, inspiring countless ordinary people to chase their dreams. So many young people see him as a guiding light and role model, and use his story to motivate themselves to move forward, to work their hardest, hoping one day they can be like him and achieve their own dreams. Someone shouted excitedly, "Young Master Lin, you are the icon of our generation. We'll use you as our benchmark and work hard. Won't waste our youth." Someone else said with emotion, "Young Master Lin, your story is truly inspiring. I've read it over 10 times. And every time I feel so pumped." Others said firmly, "Young Master Lin, it's you who made us believe that as long as we don't give up and keep moving forward, one day we'll have our moment too." Hearing all these heartfelt praises, Lin Fan stayed humble as always. He shook his head gently and said calmly, "I was just luckier than most. I happen to live in an age full of opportunities. The real heroes are those who work hard in ordinary jobs without asking for anything back. Their day-to-day persistence is what really keeps the world moving. They're the true heroes." As for all this, to Lin Fan it's not the end. His legend goes on, and he's still writing his story. Next, he'll lead his family to expand into even bigger business fields and create more world-shocking moments. His era as a financial giant is just getting started. A brighter future awaits him to fulfill. Lin Fan stood alone in front of the huge floor-to-ceiling windows of his top-floor office, looking out at the brilliant city lights. A calm and deep smile quietly appeared on his lips. He knew clearly that he had achieved the dream people once laughed at. But this isn't the end. It's a new beginning. Soon, he'll lead his family onto the global stage and make the Lin family one of the world's strongest, bringing an even louder voice for Huaxia among the world's great nations. Lin Fam,
He whispered to himself, everything is just getting started.
your legend continues. The night breeze slowly drifted by. His upright figure looked even taller and stronger under the bright lights, standing out even more firmly. He was no longer that poor kid people scorned, who had nothing. He was now a top financial powerhouse standing at the peak of the world, and an immortal legend admired by countless people.